So very good morning to all. Standard 11 Commerce and chapter number 3 Statistics. Okay. So here that is 11 Commerce Statistics and chapter number 4. So last time that we discussed. Okay. Last time that we discussed some theoretical portions, and right now we are going to discuss about again theoretical portion, and then after we are going to start range, then quartile deviation, mean deviation, and standard deviation. So here that various types of topic that we have to discuss over here. So let us start. Concept of absolute and relative measures of dispersion. Okay. So theoretical portion is that. So here concept of absolute and relative measures of dispersion. Okay. So here the two type of concept is that number one, that is absolute measures, and second one, that is relative measures. Okay. Let's see. First of all, absolute measures. A measures of dispersion which is expressed in the same unit in which the observations of the data are expressed is called an absolute measure of dispersion. For example, if the original data are in kilogram, then absolute measure will be in kilogram. So if we are taking same measurement, kilogram, kilogram, meter, meter, okay, quintal, quintal. So same data if we are considering, then it's called absolute measure. Next one, an absolute measure is not useful for the comparison purpose for variability of two or more sets of data having different unit of the measurement. So this data that we are not using, okay, we are not using for the comparison because two different types of products have two different types of measuring methods. Okay, for example, if it is in liquid, so it is liter. Okay, and if it is in production or wheat or we can say the rice, so it is in kilogram. So we cannot measure, we cannot compare two products because the measurement of both the products is different. For example, we are considering cloth, so it is in meter. Okay, so this is a different. For example, we are comparing a transport, so it is in kilometer. So different types of products is there, so different types of measurement is there. So absolute measure is not useful to compare two or more numbers, two or more products. Okay. Next one, let us understand this from the following example. Let's see. Suppose weight and height. So definitely weight in kilogram and weight in centimeter of the student of the school is given. To know which character is having more variation, we obtain the absolute measures of dispersion. Now the unit of absolute measures of dispersion of weight in kg, which is different from the height, which is in centimeter. So it is now possible to compare their variability using absolute measures. So we cannot compare because both things are different. Both things are different. Okay. Next one, relative measures. So first of all that we learn, that is absolute measures. Now we have to learn relative measures. Okay. Let's see. So measures of dispersion which is free from the unit. The most important thing is which is free from unit. It means that we can convert. We can convert. For example, one side piece is there, second side dozen is there. So we can convert piece into dozen, or we can convert dozen into piece. For example, here any products is there. For example, banana. Okay. So banana, that is for family A and family B. Family A have consumed 50 pieces of banana, and family B, those who are consumed 4 dozen. Okay. So we can convert 4 into 12, that is 48 bananas. So we can convert. Why? Because it is free from unit. So this is called a relative measures. Relative measures are there, those who are always free from the unit. Okay, let's see. So here a measures of dispersion which free from the unit of measurement is called relative measures of dispersion. The variability of two or more sets of data having different unit of measurement can be compared only by relative measures of dispersion. So here, with the help of relative measures of dispersion, we can compare two or more than two types of data. Okay. Next one, generally, a measures of relative dispersion is a ratio of the measures of an absolute dispersion of observations of a data set to an appropriate average of the oscillations. The relative measures of the dispersion is known as coefficient of dispersion. So what is the other name of relative measures of dispersion? Coefficient of dispersion, as it is independent of unit of measurement of the observations of data. So it is free from unit, it is independent. Next one, measures of dispersion. So this is the concept of absolute measures as well as relative measures. Next one, measures of dispersion. So here that is measures of dispersion. Okay. So now the main point or main topic that we have to learn in this particular chapter is start. Okay. Let's see. We shall study the following absolute and relative measures of dispersion. Number 1, range. Number 2, quartile deviation. Number 3, mean deviation. And number 4, standard deviation. Okay. So 4 different types of measures of dispersion is there. Number 1, range. Number 2, quartile deviation. Number 3, standard mean deviation. And number 4, standard deviation. So 4 topics. Theoretical as well as practical. Theoretical, it means that advantage, disadvantages is there, and practically, it means that we have to use this data for example, for the use of example also. Okay, so let's see. From the above measures, range and quartile deviation are known as positional measures of dispersion, as that measures depend on the position of the observation of the data arranged in increasing or decreasing order of their magnitude. So first two, that is range and quartile deviation, is totally based on range. Okay, positional, because we have to arrange the data in chronological order. Okay, so that's why these two types is known as, that we can say that it is a positional of observations. Next one, while the mean deviation and standard deviation are known as measures of dispersion representing the summary of deviations of the observations from the measures of central tendency. Okay, so rest of two, that is mean deviation and standard deviation, both are known as representative of summary, because mean, as we know, what do we mean by mean? Average of all. So mean deviation and standard deviation, that we can say that it is a positional, not a positional average, but it gives the summary of all the observations of data. So this is the most important thing, that is the measures of dispersion. Now, first of all, out of 4, first that we have to discuss, and that first is range. Okay, so this word that we already use in our general life also, that is called range. So now what do you mean by range? What is the formula? What is the coefficient of range? That we have to study over here. Okay, let's see. The difference between the highest and lowest observation of the data is called the range, and it is denoted by symbol R. Simple. The difference between highest data and lowest data. It means that if we have to find out the range, what we have to do? Maximum value minus minimum value. That's it. And it is denoted by R. So again, what is the formula? Range R is equal to, so R is equal to x of h minus x of L. Highest data, hence highest, L is equal to lowest. Okay, so two type of data that we have to use over here. One that is highest, second one that is lowest. Okay, next one. R range is an absolute measures of dispersion having some unit of measurement as that of the observations. Now we can see. It is obvious. You can see in the box that is share price of company. Okay, that is week day is there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In that particular paragraph, you can see the data of weekly closing share price of the company of 8 weeks are given below. Week number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From the graph, it can be clear that the maximum price is 115, which is on 6 month, 6 week. And the lowest is 80, which is on second week. Okay, so if you have to find out range, 115 minus 80, so we can find out 35 is your answer. So definitely what we have to do, maximum value minus minimum value, so we can get the answer of range. Next one, it is obvious from the definition of the range that frequency does not play any role in the determining the range even for group data. For any group frequency distribution, the range can be obtained as the difference between upper limit of the highest class interval and the lower limit of the lowest class interval. So its group data is given. Okay, so same way then we have to find out upper value of highest and lower value of lowest. So relative range. So what do you mean by relative range or coefficient of range? So relative range is equal to R divided by XH plus XL. So we can denote these particular things in XH minus XL divided by XH plus XL. So simple. On numerator minus, denominator base plus. So this is a range, and relative range or other word of relative range is coefficient of range. Let's see. The relative range is also known as coefficient of range. It is free from the unit of measurement. If the coefficient of range for a population is small, then it can be said that variability is less in the observations of the population. That is, the value of observation are not far from the each other. Then we can see what is the value difference between both the value highest as well as lowest. Okay. Next one. But if the coefficient of range is high, then it can be said that variability is more in the observations of population. That is, the value of observations are very far from each other, very distant, far from each other. Let us take one example, so it can be very easy to understand. Okay, so let us see the example of range. So example number 1. Okay, let's see. The runs scored by the batsman in his 10 innings of the cricket match are, so 10 innings, n is equal to 10, so here 48, then 75, 37, 52, 93, then after 81, 25, 72, 80 and 60. So this 10 innings run is there. In first inning he scored 48, in second 75, third 37, fourth 52, in fifth inning 93, sixth inning 81, 7 25, 8 72, in ninth inning only 18 run, and in 10th inning 60 run. So now what we have to do? Find the range and coefficient of range of his run. Okay, so here we have to find out range. It means that R is equal to how much, and coefficient, okay, coefficient of R is equal to how much? So simple. Here we have to use the formula of range and we have to find out the answer. Okay. So here first of all R is equal to XH minus XL. Okay. And in second particular thing, what we have to find out, that coefficient of range is equal to R divided by XH plus XL. Okay. So from this data we have to find out the minimum as well as maximum value. So here what is the minimum value? 18. Okay. And what is the maximum value? 93. Okay. So simple. 93 minus 18. 93 minus 18. So 93 minus 18 is equal to 75 run. So 75 run, R is equal to, that we can say that 75. Now on the basis of this we have to find out the value of coefficient of range. R is equal to directly 75, so we have to put over here, and 93 plus 18. So simple, 73. Now we have to do 93 plus 18, 111. So answer is 0.6757. Third digit is 5. So 0.68. So this is coefficient of range. Okay. So in this way we have to find out the range as well as coefficient of range. So this is the first one. Okay. So this is the first one, first example. See and write down. Okay. Now let us take a second example. From the following information of monthly salary of the worker of a factory, find out range and coefficient of range. So what is data is given? So here example number 2, monthly salary is given. So in first column we have to take over monthly salary and number of worker. Okay. So number of worker. So monthly salary is in rupees 3,500, very nice, 400 or 4,000, then 5,000, 7,500, 10,000 and 12,000. So this is the value of salary, rupees. Number of workers 3, 21, 30, 19, 6 and 5. Okay. So this value is there. Now on the basis of this value, again what we have to do? We have to find out the value of R. So simple, R is equal to X of H minus X of L. And coefficient of R is equal to R divided by XH plus XL. Okay. So now we have to take the minimum as well as maximum value. What is the maximum value of salary? 12,000. Minimum 3,500. So simple, 12,000 minus 3,500. So value is 8,500. So we got the value R is equal to 8,500. Same value that we have to use over here, 8,500 divided by 12,000 plus 3,500. So here 8,500 divided by 12,000 plus 3,500, 15,500. So our answer is 0.5484. Third digit is 8, 0.55. So this is the value of coefficient of range. Okay, let's see. Okay, so